everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm gonna do something different than I normally do. I have quite some DIY projects. Of course my whole closet is almost DIY because I like to sew, and sometimes you make something that is on trend or that is different that you think that would be nice to have in your closet, and then it's done, you think it's very nice, it's worked out very good. But you never wear it because there is something not going well with that garment, that is not your style or doesn't feel right on you, and you just leave it in your closet. And I think that's really a shame. And I have quite some pieces in my closet that I never wear, but that are actually very beautiful. But they have just that one thing that is not really why I reach for it when I want to take something out of my closet. So in this video I'm gonna make some changes. Some are very easy, some are more difficult, some I have to figure out myself how to do it. And I show you how you can do that. And maybe with the holidays now coming, you have a very beautiful dress in your closet, but it's just not feeling right for you to wear, especially on those special days. And maybe this can inspire you to take it out of your closet, make the changes and wear it these coming up holidays. I will change 2 dresses and 1 pants. Yes, pants, the faux leather pants that I made before. And I show you how to do that, and I hope you get some inspiration out of it to make some changes yourself to your garments. So this dress has sleeves that are very on trend when I made it, but it just doesn't look nice on me. So I'm gonna make them just normal straight on, or maybe even tight. I think that looks way better on me, and I think I also will take it in because it is rather wide, and I think it looks nicer when it's just more fitted. So I think I will also take in the side. So that's a pretty easy job to do. The sleeves have here a seam because this is some kind of a flounce quarter circle. Don't know how I made it, but I will just leave it like that, and I will just see if I can just take in the side seam, if that is enough. Maybe I will have to take it off the whole thing and make it more straight and then sew it back on. So this is the first that we're going to change. And then I saw that there was also a belt to it, so I put that on, and we'll see if maybe that will help when fixing it in a more nicer dress. So I put the dress inside out and I laid the sleeve flat, and you see it flares out quite a bit. But I made this the straight line, and then I measured how tight I want it around my wrist. I made that 15 centimeters, and then I will just go from the underarm to the end of the sleeve, because the sleeve is overall rather wide, also here on the top part. So I'm just gonna take it in. So I'll just put my ruler from the beginning to the end, and I'll put pins down that line. And when you have something like this yourself, make sure that here the seam is really nicely touching each other, so that it's not crooked, not the bottom side goes there and the top side goes there. So you can do that by just putting in a pin at the seam, at the stitching, and then see where it comes out on the other side. And here it is exactly the right place where I put a pin, or I hope it is in line, otherwise I will have to do it. No, it's okay. So, but that way you can certainly be sure that this line will continue on the other side, otherwise it's not really that nice. It's underneath the sleeve, but I think you should make it that it looks very nice and polished. So I'm just gonna pin that down. I always like to try it on things before I sew them, so I'm gonna try that, see if this is the good width overall and here at the wrist. And what I also noticed when I was showing the dress in the beginning, put another pin, is that the sleeves are rather long, so I also gonna make it a little bit shorter. So I will just seam rip the seam here, open that up, then I can cut some off, and then I will hem it later on again. And then I also don't have to be sure, look, this is not matching up, but because I will take out this seam, that doesn't really matter. So I'll just seam rip it down and then make a new seam later on. Cut off the excess, cut off the seam, and I'm gonna sew the new seam and gonna hem the sleeves again. The sleeves are now nicely more fitted. I still can put them up very easily. They're not too tight, but I think this is more versatile because I can also put something over it. When I found the belt, I thought, okay, it looks really nice with the belt. I don't need to take it in. I think it's more nicely like this than when I make it really tight. And I show you when I put the blazer on top of it. It also looks very good, so you can put a blazer on top of it now. I can put a cardigan over it, and with that white sleeves it was not comfortable because then I had to tuck in everything here in the sleeves, and that was not very good to wear. But you see, like this, it's a very nice and versatile dress. It's very nice and soft, and I think I can use it now way more than I did before. Well, I didn't wear it at all, I must say, with the wider sleeves. And I think this looks very, very good. Then we have this beautiful velvety dress, which I really like. I really love the color, but it somehow feels a bit too short on me. I like midi dresses, maxi dresses, but somehow this feels a little bit outdated. Maybe for many of you it's the right length, but I don't feel nice in it. So I like to make it longer. And then the color, when I made it, I already said I wish this was a little bit lower. It's a little bit under my chin now, so I want this waterfall neck to be a bit lower. I don't know how to do it, so I will figure it out later on. But I think then it fits more nicely. I feel now a little bit here that it's all underneath my chin and I don't really like it. And the length, I have this overlap here, so I have to see how I can lengthen it, but I want it really quite a bit longer than it is now. Now we'll continue with the beautiful velvet dress, and I hope this turns out really nice because it's such a beautiful dress. And I have some Ausbrenner fabric. I don't know if you can see it. It is etched with acid to make it half transparent, so it's something like this. But I also have some lace, and I think the color of the lace matches more nicely. You cannot really see it on camera, but I think this matches more nicely with the color of the dress. And also I think this is a bit too heavy to go onto the bottom of a dress that is already rather heavy. So I'm going to see how I'm going to use this lace, because it's a border lace. It is I think 12 centimeters wide or something. I want my dress to be 8 to 10 centimeters longer. This is, oh, it's even 15, so I don't need the whole width of the lace. And I want to extend it here in the curve, so not all the way up, but from here going down straight, and then again make that curve, so that the length here on the bottom of the dress is about 8 to 10 centimeters longer, so that is a big part of the lace fabric. And then I have to see how to make the curve here, because of course lace is straight on, that won't work. And I don't want to gather it because I don't really like it when you see here all kind of pleats, but I have to do something. So I think I will just make some pleats really by pinning it, so not with a basting stitch, because then you get just pleats that are, that are just going along the edge of your band. So I think I will just pin my pleats so that the pleats are going down, straight down, and you don't have that bulkiness here in the rounding of the curve, because I don't really like that. So I just have to work with it and see when it falls most nice, and have to see how to attach it, because this dress has a facing here. So I could sew it onto the facing, but then I have to take off the facing and later on hand sew it back. So I think then I might as well hand sew the lace to the dress, because I have to hand sew anyway, and I don't like that, but there's no nice way to do it. I don't like stitching here on the end, so I'm not going to do it with machine, so I have to do it with my with just by hand stitching, and then go all the way down and do the same here on the other. I'll put a pin here too. On the other side, I don't have to go all the way up, but maybe I will, because this is quite a lot of overlap, but maybe I'll just go till the other straight line going down. So I'm gonna play a little bit with this until I'm happy with the pleats. And if you want to do it, just make sure that your pleats are going straight down, that you don't get crumbling up here around the edge, around the hem of your dress. Part with the top, and it has this lovely cowl neck, and what you do when you make a cowl neck with the pattern, you will flare out the sides, the shoulder seams I mean, and then this is the way your pattern is. You have here your facing, and when you put the shoulders on the normal place on your body, you will get that nice cowl neck. But because I cannot make this wider, when you make this wider it will have more fabric here, so your cowl will be lower, but I cannot do that. I don't have any fabric left to make the shoulders higher. That would be a possibility too, but then my bodice will be too long, so that's not an option either. So I'm really not sure what to do, but I want to do something. So what I will do is I will take loose my facing and see, maybe when I shorten that till just underneath where the fold is, that might help. I think not, but I just gonna try whatever. And if not, I will make some kind of V-neck or something, just make a slit here and see how that falls and how I can finish that. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna try and see what happens. If you have any suggestions, of course it's too late because I'm cutting now, but then for next time, or for someone else who likes to change that, please leave them down below in the comment section. How to lower a cowl neck that is already finished and you don't have any fabric where you can make something of. So I will take my facing loose and then see if I can do with something in that. Otherwise I will cut here in the mid front and see what happens then. This was what it looked like from the inside. This is the whole cowl with the facing. It was of no use to take this loose of the facing because it is also the finishing of the armhole, and it wouldn't really matter if I could cut off something of or not of the facing, because the main fabric is still of the same width, so I didn't take that loose. What I did is I just cut in the mid front to see what would happen, and first I thought that would help if I would cut it down just till the end of the facing, but when I put it on I thought no, it's still not really lower that I wanted, so I marked how low I wanted it to be open with the pin you see here, and I just cut straight across to that point, and then it is nicely in the front the way I want it to be. This is now loose, the facing. Then I thought maybe I can just attach it here and see what happens, but that looked really funny, really strange. Was not a good look, because this of course is the cull neck, so it was crumbling up all, it was nothing, so that didn't work. So what I will do, I will just the dress will be like this when you have it on. I will just finish this v-neck, and I'm not sure if I really have to go like normal you would do when you have your shoulder here to the end of that, or if I can just say halfway, or I will just pin it and see how I can finish it. And of course here I don't have a facing, so I will just make a small rolled hem here and hand sew that, because I don't want any top stitching onto my velvet. So I'm gonna see how I can finish this, but it will just be some kind of a v-neck, and I have to see how I will do that. From the right side I'll just lay it down like it looks when you have it on. We have now this, so we have a lot of fabric here that is not useful anymore, so maybe I will have to go all the way to my shoulder seam, which is here. So maybe I will have to take it in all the way like this, but I'm just gonna pin and see how it looks when how I make that. And just by playing with the fabric I found a very nice way to finish it. What I did is I cut off here the facing in the line where how I want my V to be on the left and the right side. And then I must say I don't even know what I did, but I pinned the facing in a different way. I will show you on the other side, then I can figure it out. I pinned it again here along that V-neck line, and then when I flip it over, of course this is excess, this I can cut off later. But then when I flip it back right side out, here is my shoulder seam. Here is now my V. And you see that looks very nice from the inside and also from the outside, and I don't have the hand stitch because you know I don't like that. The only thing is I just have barely enough here for the point of the V, so I have to see how I'm going to do that. I think I will have to finish that by hand to give it a nice finish, but this was a very nice trick, so I'll see if I can show you how I did that, because I have to figure it out here for the other side too. So I first looked for my shoulder seam, I pushed that out, because then I can flip my facing to the other side. Very happy with this result, because I don't know if you have the two way, you have something that you would like to change, but it is such a beautiful garment that you're afraid that you will ruin it. I had to say with this dress, because it's such a beautiful dress, but it just was not it. And if I wouldn't change it, I wouldn't wear it. So I thought I will just do it. If you have some experience with sewing, just start and you can figure it out how you can change it. And I'm very happy with this result. The neckline I really like now. It still has a bit of that cowl neck idea because you have that width because of the original pattern. So it's nicely low now, the way I wanted it, but it still has that idea of a cowl neck. And eventually it was very easy to do, but I made it rather difficult. But I will put in the video what I should have done. Because it was really not that difficult, but I was just figuring it out and doing something, and then I'm working on it, and when I think back, I think well, I could have made it very easy with the same result, but that doesn't matter. The outcome is what it's all about, and I think this looks really, really nice. Also the length, this is really my length. Maybe it's not your length, but to me it feels way more comfortable, way more me when I have a rather longer dress, and this is really the length that I like. And also the lace, I hope you can see it, yes. Also the lace looks very nice and working together with the velvet of the dress, unless that other fabric that I had, it was not really matching up with the more heavy velvet. So I'm very happy with this result. It's a very nice dress, maybe for the holidays to wear. And I'm happy I tried to change this one. And then we have the faux leather pants. Maybe when I made it you already thought, why is she making this? Because this is just not me. I'm not of the pants at all. Certainly not the edgier ones, but I saw this pants, I think on Josie's channel here on YouTube from Fashion Mumbler, and she had the pants like this and it looked really nice on her. But for me it is just totally not it. Very outdated, very grumpy looking. So I'm gonna change it. I don't think I will wear it when it is changed, but I will just show you when you have something like this and you like to wear it, how you can change this. These wide legs are really not good for me. I make them tighter, maybe straight, like maybe really tight if I can. I have fortunately some more of this faux leather, so I can just sew something on the bottom. Maybe I will do it like with normal leather pants. They have a seam here just above the knee, so maybe that will look nice when I just cut it off and then put a piece down to the end of the legs. But certainly I will make it tighter because I never wear pants like this. I don't like wide leg pants at all. It doesn't suit me because I'm too short, I think. And I don't like pants at all, as I always say. So I'm gonna see what I can make of it, and maybe it will help you when you have pants that you want to change. But this is certainly not it. So because I have quite some leftover fabric, I will make a seam here just above the knee, like wheel leather pants always have. Then it matches a little bit with that, so I will cut that off. I measured where that seam would be, so I'll cut it off. Of course I will leave some seam allowance, and then I think I will have to take in the legs of the pants. I just marked some here on the side. Maybe I also need to do it here, but first I'm just gonna elongate the legs of the pants just by sewing on a piece of fabric for the full length, and then I will see where my new side seam and maybe my inner seam should be, because then I can just figure out how it looks and what is the nicest fit. I like to have it as skinny as possible, but maybe it's not that comfortable. It is a little bit of stretchy, but not really like a skinny jean, so I have to see. So first I'm just gonna put on some fabric to the legs, and then make the new side seams. And here on the outer side seam I have already top stitching, so I have to pick that out and see. Hopefully I have to cut it off, otherwise you will see the holes, but that's nothing I can do about that, so I will see what I can do with that. So that's what we're gonna do. Cut it off, put a new piece of fabric on, and then see what we do with the leg width. I cut 2 more legs, and I opened up here my seams on the sides. And now what I will do is I will sew the front part of the pants onto one side, and I will put that like this, so not right sides together but just one side to the right side, and then top stitch that. So make sure that you have a really nice and crisp edge here. If you can work with rotary cutter, that gives the nicest edge, but I cannot do this, so I have to do it by scissors. But I think mine is rather nice, so just put that on top of it for the front, one for the back. And then we can see how we have to change the side seams when we sew them together. Then we have just one straight leg for the front and the back, like you would have when you would just normally make pants. Already sewed down my inner seams, and because we cannot pin this, we have to estimate how wide we want the legs to be. What I did is I already took out the top stitching on the outer seam, and I measured with clothespins when I had the pants on how tight I could make the legs, and I had quite some room left, so I just estimated it. I made a marking with some chalk. I'll do that for the other side, the other leg too, and then try it on and see if I want it even tighter or what I want to do. If you want to top stitch later on the outer seam again, it is best to first do the outer seam, then the inner seam. Just for the shape and the form, I like always to do the inner seam first if I'm not really sure how the leg will be. So that's why I did the inner seam first, but it's sometimes very difficult when you have some tighter legs to do the top stitching later on. So make sure you figure out what you want and then in what order you're gonna sew it. So I'm now gonna sew both the outer seams, see if that is okay when trying it on. If not, then I can take it in again and just make it the way I want it to be. So I took the legs into the perfect width for me. I left in the top stitching here on the top of the pants to the hips, and the rest I didn't top stitch, I just left it like this. And also I didn't hem the bottom because normally with wheel leather pants it's also never hemmed, and I think when you cut it nicely straight it fits more nicely over your boots, because I made it with it I can wear it over my boots, and then you don't have here this thicker hemline. So I just cut it off. And then the faux leather pants. Way more modern now with just the straight on legs, and I think way more wearable than the 3/4 or what was it, wide leg thing. This is really just a normal faux leather pants that you can wear everywhere. I don't know if I will wear it, but I think this looks way better than that shorter cut wider leg thing. It's very versatile, you can wear it with everything. I didn't make the legs too tight, although the fabric is rather stretchy, but I think this is a better fit to use and to have in your closet for anything. And I think this looks very nice and very polished like this. I put some heels underneath, but of course you can also wear sneakers underneath it. and I'm happy I changed this one into just a normal pants that you can wear. I don't know if I will wear it because I'm just not of the pants, but for a pants I think this is very good fun. So if you like to recreate that sewing class of the faux leather pants, consider making this pattern, and that's not very difficult. It's just make a straight leg, put the pieces on the bottom of it, and you have a nice faux leather pants. So I hope you liked this video. I thought it would maybe help you change some of your garments that you don't wear but that are very nice, maybe even for the holidays, that you can change up. It's always, your garments might be different than mine. But you can also always use some tips and tricks that people give you how to change things, and you have to try on when you have to try what works for you, and the more you do it, the more you get creative in how to change things up, that it really looks nice. And I also just had to start and see what I was working with, what I could do with it, especially with the blue dress. It could have been very easy, but I made it difficult, but that's no problem. It's just what the outcome will be. And also with these pants, it was very easy, but the outcome is huge, I think. So you just take your garment, change it up when you have the time for it, and just go and see what you can do, and you get very creative. I must say, I'm normally not a fan of changing things. I just like to make things from scratch and not changing up. But these three pieces were really nice to do because I made them myself before, and I thought they would be nice the way I made them. But they weren't. They were just not my style, and then you can leave them in your closet. You can also try to change them, as I did also for these pants. So I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!